Okay, so here we go. Headed away from Goddess Church, going down to the beach. And I'm not going to play music today, but in the link to this video, there'll be in the description of this video, there will be a link to my drive to Fort Flagler. The other day, because YouTube censored it because it had I had the radio on. So I'm not going to have the radio on. I'll take you on my drive today, so I can post it on YouTube. So, are you ready? This is what it looks like leaving the church. Port Townsend, Washington. Woohoo! Here we go! Feels like summertime today. It's hot. I guess that was already implied. Okay. Plus there's like an excited energy, you know, people get when there's just an excited springtime energy. Hence me wanting to go for a walk. Again, we're not going to drive to Fort Flagler today. But in the description of this video, there'll be a link to the video, my drive to Fort Flagler last week, with the tunes playing. I guess I could sing. I could laugh. I could tone, okay. I walk with the goddess, she walks with me. I walk with the goddess, she walks with me. Alright, there's the marijuana store on the left. Yeah, there's pizza and a hardware store and all that, but we don't, whatever. This town here is called Port Hadlock, in case you didn't know. About, I don't know, 10 miles outside of Port Townsend. Between Port Townsend and Chimacum, Washington. Bow, chicka chicka bow. That Georgia sun was blood red and going down. That Port Townsend sun was blood red and going down. It's like 4:30 and it gets dark now around 7, I think, but ooh, it's gonna be so pretty right when all these trees get leaves. I will drive you down here when that happens. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I might walk down to Flagler. I mean, I might drive all the way to Flagler. We shall see. I stir my cauldron. You know, cauldron means, yes, it's the witch's cauldron, but it's also the womb. It's also healing. Not healing, yes, healing. Alchemy. You know, it's whatever you stir and brew up, your change. And when you're integrating your shadow side and timelines collapsing and all of that alchemy is the cauldron. The cauldron and the witch's ruin. Okay, so I was thinking of going down here today. So here's the bridge, and down there is a beach. I was going to walk that one today, but I'm feeling like driving more, so I think I'm going to go on down to Flagler. Okay, so this is called Indian Island, and that is the naval base, which is the largest cache of, well, anyway, you can Google it. I go down to the river to pray. I go down to the river to pray. All right, so much is coming up today, man. It's so weird. I heard some astrology stuff today online on the internet. This new gal, and she was right on, right? Just right on for me at what I'm going through, what's going on in my life right now, and it made me feel like a pawn on a board game of like Monopoly, right? Like, you know how you have the shoe and the hat and all that. Well, because I'm like, okay, great, this is all Libras. I mean, I'm a Libra Scorpio cusp, but I'm just barely into Libra. So the Libra was like, oh my God, right on. So I'm like, oh, so I'm just a puppet of the universe and have very little leeway. So I think, oh, I'm sad or I'm stressed or I got these different things going on, you think, in life, or even joyful or whatever ebbs and flows. Oh, I'm choosing it, right? I have free will. It's a free will planet. But the thing is that readings like that are general for all of one, like Libra, they, to be so accurate, it's a tiny bit unnerving. Because it's like, I think I have free will, right? But really, I'm just a pawn of the universe. And this was going to happen anyway. So you might as well just freaking enjoy it, right? Enjoy the ride. So anyway, it comes down to the moment, right? Being in the moment, feeling into the moment, and allowing the moment to change. So like in the Mandela effect, for example. People will be with people their whole lives, or family, spouse, kids, whatever. They know them, right? And then just the simplest things too are so unnerving. It's like say forever, 20 years is a big deal. Someone didn't like ketchup, and then they just love ketchup, and they're like, it's not that they got a new taste for ketchup. They've moved to a reality where they've always loved ketchup. So that is seriously gaslighting to the people around in a way, unless you can quantumly flow with the changes. So it's like, okay, you were always this person and now you're this person? What? And so isn't it so beautiful out today? Oh my, right? Yes, I'm driving, I know. Okay, so anyway, people are experiencing that. Some people have experienced people that have died and come back to life, or that they had a kid they didn't know they had. There's been dramatic shifts in reality. And so it's like, you move to reality and your wife's like, oh, I've always loved ketchup. And you're like, no. And it's not like they forgot, right? It's a different reality. And so it kind of triggers that stuff of being, you know how you have an experience, or say you're abused, or someone says something to you, they either profess undying love, or they say something negative, or, you know, like bullies or child abusers, molesters, parents that are abusive in any way, could be the school bully or a teacher. People say something to you, and then you tell other people, and it's not true. didn't happen. You lied. You're bad. They're good, even though they did that to you. Whether it's something of telling you they're madly in love with you, telling you they want to spend their life with you, or all these really incredibly cool things about you, or incredibly negative things or abusive things, you know they said it. You have proof they said it. But it doesn't matter that they said it. What matters is this new moment. Are they that person? And the ketchup is one example, but in the Mandela effect stuff, oh my goodness, man. I have talked to and done spiritual advice work with so many people that have moved to a reality where people around them are completely different. Like for me, the Bible, having the Lion and the Lamb scripture, there's hundreds of Bible scriptures that have supernaturally changed. Well, the Lion and the Lamb was always there for me. And I was religious because I went to the Jehovah's Witness church to be with my grandma. I studied the Bible because I was highly spiritual and connected to spirit. Not because I really studied the Bible, I've never read it all, but there's certain things like Lion and the Lamb, right? So to move to a reality where it's the wolf and the lamb, and my mother, who obviously I've known my entire life, says, it was always the wolf and the lamb, among other people. But my mother's a good example because it's my entire frickin' life, right? I mean, even before she was religious, she became a Jehovah's Witness when I was around 20. It was like 30 years now, 25 years or whatever. But before that, it was common knowledge. It was on, posters and plaques, and the Lion and the Lamb was everywhere. So it was common knowledge my whole life, and I moved to reality where the people around me believe that it was a different reality. Now, that's the gift of the Mandela effect. It's a massive gaslighter, and it's a massive teacher in trusting yourself. You know what you experienced. You know what you went through. And so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're your children. It doesn't matter if you've been married to them for 20 years. It doesn't matter how committed you are to them or how aloof or how much they're in your life. When that moment comes that they're a different version of them, you have to accept it. And it's crazy making, right? So you have to be quantum enough in the quantum flow of the moment that you say, oh, so today you like ketchup. And obviously that's an example. It could be like, oh, today you're in love with me. Now you're not. Oh, you want to marry me. Now you don't. Oh, yesterday you said something shitty, or yesterday you abused me and hit me, and today, not only today did it not happen like within abuse situations, but it never happened in this reality. So it's only your personal experience. So then I say, okay, well, this is something that I take with me. I take it to other worlds. I take it in my consciousness. I take it when I cross over. I have it with my writings and my stuff. It's my own personal experience because we project the version of other people that are around us. Yes, I got to know where land first. We project a version of people that we want to experience based on our beliefs and our emotions. So, look how pretty that is. Man, right? Woohoo, we're in Nordland. Nordland. It's on Marrowstone Island, Budamus. So we project a version of people, not necessarily that we want or ideally, but who we believe them to be and based on our own beliefs and stuff in life. So if we're grounded in ourselves, we should project a certain version of that person, right? And that shouldn't change every day. So maybe if someone's changing every day in what they say to you, maybe I'm going to drive down to the end of Schwartz. So maybe you changed, and so they didn't change, but you're a different version of you. So regardless of all the letters or everything that you might have from somebody that they might have said a certain thing, whether it's your parent, like I said, kids, school teacher, job, anything, they could very well be a different version of themselves. And then you go, okay, well, I don't really prefer to be around this version. But if you keep going over the old stuff all the time and going, but you said this, but you felt this, but there's no way for you to change. You never liked ketchup, so you don't like ketchup. You have to be able to allow them to change and then decide if you want to be around that changed version, if you want them in your life or not. And that's how you feel into the moment. Okay, so I'm excited. Like today, this is a perfect example. I was feeling tired, but I wanted to walk. So I thought I'd go to that closed spot by the bridge. Well, I felt into the moment, and at that moment, it felt exciting to go further. It's a perfect example. Then I got to this place, and so if I'd have went left back there, I'd have went to Fort Flagler, which I'm going to go down there. But this is a road called Schwartz, and I looked at a house down here years ago that I was going to buy with the church, and so I just had a feeling I wanted to drive down here, and so you just trust that. So you might leave the house or head towards the house. This could be a life goal. It could be something you're working on. It could be anything. You head that direction because it feels exciting. And then you go, oh, then you may veer to the right or veer to the left, make this choice or that choice because it feels exciting. So it's your job to keep feeling into the moment, and when it changes, be okay with that change. And depending on the subject, okay, so whether it's, a job or love or, whatever line it is in, it could very well really frickin' trigger the heck out of you when someone else changes their entire feelings, words, everything about who they had claimed to be and who your heart and them to be, and they're stating they're someone different. It can really gaslight you, and it can drive you fucking mad. Now, in my Mandela Effect consulting stuff, there's the fence at Schwartz. I wonder what's going on in there. That's such a cool place. I forget what it was called, but it was a beautiful house. Shoot, I forgot what I was saying. Okay, I don't remember where that ended, but we feeling into the moment, then we allow people to change by not holding on to our version of them, even if it was just yesterday. Even just yesterday, they could have said 100 things about a person, a place, an experience, how they feel about you, how they feel about themselves, and you could have 1,000 letters that state it, and sworn documents, and could be in blood, but the next day they're like, I don't feel that way. You absolutely have to go with that. And in the Mandela Effect spiritual counseling that I have done, people struggle with that huge, because their whole life, someone, something, some way have told them something, has committed to them, has been this certain version of them. And not only are they changing, and I'm not talking about like change my hair color, or I learned something, or I'm growing, or I'm changing, but a radical difference in change, like the ketchup example, that has always been. So some people will move into it and you'll still have proof of the old reality. Well, look at that as residual. So what? So what if they said all those things yesterday, or even this morning? They're themselves this moment, and you're projecting a certain version of them, and they're in free will of their own thing. So when they change their energy and say they completely don't feel how they said they felt, then it's your job to be true to you and go, okay, well, what do I feel about that? And follow your highest excitement in direction. And when people do that, like if they go in and out of personalities, or if they change and do that every other day, every other week, or if you've experienced it over years or even a year of them doing that on and off, it can be crazy making, and you might not want those people in your life, because one day they'll say they feel a certain thing. They'll say they want to experience this, they want their life to be this, but then whatever makes them afraid, whatever makes them think they can't experience that, or they can't get out of the situation they're in, or there's just not enough money and there's just no way, whatever it does that clicks them to another reality. Now, whether they're wanting to believe what they're saying or believe it or have shifted to that reality, none of that is of concern to you. What is of concern to you is going, okay, you have to take that person's word for who they are in that moment. Now, I'm an energy reader, so if someone says something and the energy don't match, I know that what they're saying isn't true. Okay? It isn't true at a cell level. It isn't their mouth saying something that their body don't feel. Their mouth saying something that their energy doesn't feel. It's not really even their truth. But their mind, their mouth is telling their self they feel a certain way, they're going to act a certain way, and this is how it is. And so this is a free will planet. You have to go with what they say they want for them, regardless of what truth you know in your heart, in your mind, what you know in your memory that you've experienced, what you psychically and intuitively read in their energy field. All of that is irrelevant to their reality. You have to take them at their word. If they want to do healing work and they want to work with you to remove these programs and triggers or align this energy, then they'll ask you. Otherwise, it's your job to go, well, this person's not fun or healthy, or this is just too weird and crazy. Like, I'm talking to this version of you, and then I'm talking to this version of you, and you go back and forth so many times that I don't want to be around that person. And that's for you to choose. But with the Mandela effect, which is a quantum shift, you're doing that with whole realities, like buildings, anatomy, astrology, like new species. There's just so much that is changing daily. Like, say, if this road all of a sudden became a brick road and there's a house on the left, right? These things are happening. Like the Statue of Liberty moving, pyramids weren't in a place. I have had massive anatomy changes. So all of that stuff is so surreal to me, and I counsel people on it, and I know I've shifted realities, and I study it, and I know it. It's a matter of fact to me. It's the deal. But it's still crazy making when, for me, on interpersonal relationships. So I'm accepting that, yep, a house can just be manifest right in front of me, and I've moved thousands of miles in the apple trees are blooming. I've moved thousands of miles in the universe. All the supernatural stuff I can accept. But when someone says something to me about how they feel, who they are, and I see their energy and their excitement of it, and it aligns, and what is aligned with them for, like, say, a year is all of a sudden radically different via their mouth of what they feel now, what their stated word is, it triggers me a little bit, and it brings up stuff probably from my childhood of constantly being invalidated and triggered, constantly being told I wasn't seeing what I saw, no, I didn't say that, no, blah, blah, blah. And now with the internet, we have proof. So we have audios, and we have videos, and we have pictures, and we have residual of where we were in the universe, and we have residual songs, and we have proof that this other reality existed. So it's completely irrelevant. Oh my God, this existed. So it'd be like me trying to force someone to say, oh, yes, I feel the way I said I did yesterday, would be like me trying to move 3,000 light years back to the Sagittarius arm, when now I'm on the Orion arm. Now my heart's in the center, not on the left. I'm in a reality now where the sun is white and it was yellow. I mean, there are thousands of these. So we can accept them. I mean, I've totally accepted the supernatural shift in reality and the matrix, the quantum, the whole, this isn't real, I can shift realities, blah, 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 healing, quantum touch. But when it comes to relationships with long-term friends or lovers, I'm still tripped up by it. It's like, oh, yes, this can happen, this huge supernatural moving in the universe, but this person can't be a different version of themselves every day, because that's crazy making. And I don't prefer that in my reality. Okay, seeing how we're on tour, let's just drive down this one. People are so precious. I love people. No baby talking on YouTube. I do not baby talk. I'm macho wacho. People are so cool and awesome, and then there's people who, aren't. But if you keep projecting that people are cool and awesome, then that's how they're going to be to you, right? Everything's always working. Oh my God, look at those Cascade Mountains. All right, I'm going to get out and take some pictures. So love you guys. There will be a part 2 to this in the description. And yeah, I'm going to get out and take some photos. So in the description of this video will be part 2, and you'll get to see the rest of the drive to Flagler. And because I can't play the radio, I'm going to yammer. Love ya.